Hello YouTube family, and welcome back to another video brought to you by Lighthaven Farm. Today we'll discuss our pond water garden irrigation system upgrade. Prior to this system, the wife and I used a 1/4 horsepower sub $60 utility sub pump powered by a Honda generator. While this system worked, it was painstakingly slow. It quickly became apparent after only a single season growing that an upgraded long-term solution was required, as the old system was severely inefficient at the expense of the limited time we had when working our off-grid property. The brawn of the upgraded setup begins with a Harbor Freight Predator 2-inch gas-powered semi-trash water pump that will potentially provide a flow rate of about 150 gallons per minute, more than 10 times the rate of the old system. In keeping with our continuing goal, the upgrade needed to be robust, easy to use, easy to set up and break down at the end of our growing season, and, if the need arose, be upgradable in the future. The project began with the construction of a small platform deck placed at the edge of our farm pond. The water's deep enough in this location that the basket and intake hose are fully submerged within 20 feet of the unit. Prepping the Harbor Freight pump for use required adding engine oil, a fresh tank of gas, and the assembly of the optional 10-inch wheel kit to its frame. As a side note, we have chosen to use pure ethanol-free gas and synthetic oil with the hopes that it will extend the life of both the engine and the carburetor. For the water intake, it was important to suspend the metal screen housing and the hose above the muck and the mud at the bottom of the pond. A laundry basket, zip ties, pool noodles, and heavy rocks assured a vertical orientation and provided heavy ballast and keep the water flowing free of as much debris as possible. The pump output is threaded to a cam lock fitting and Schedule 40 2-inch PVC pipe conduit. I made sure to use 22.5 and 45 degree elbows, eliminating sharp bends in an attempt to minimize friction and maintain water pressure. Clean out fittings and threaded caps were used on either end of the 70-foot or so run of pipe for system flushing and end of season winterization. Using the old system's hose as a guide, grass was highlighted for an 18 to 24 inch deep trench that I would dig by hand. This is the point where the project becomes a bit more elaborate. As part of the one and done and build it better philosophy, a 10-foot by 22-foot lean-to was worked into the construction planning. The hand-dug trench reminded me of how grateful I am to be able to work the soil, all 75 foot of it, with every swing of the pickaxe through heavy clay and stone. Oh, was I grateful. Seriously though, the payoff made all the hard work invested 100% worth it. A day later, and in goes the glued run of 2-inch PVC piping leading straight to the pavilion. At the compost pavilion, the 2-inch PVC pipe finishes at a 3-outlet flow management manifold controlled by ball valves, the very ends of which have threaded fittings that accept standard hose connections. The hoses distribute water to 3 different zones within the garden. We use brass impact sprinkler heads mounted on top of a short length of PVC. They are held in place with zip ties, which makes positioning and adjustment extremely easy. The 2 tan hoses are the longest and run up and through the rafters of the lean-to. The pair exit overhead at the far end of the structure and loop between the outer and inner fence line and keep the hoses off the grass and away from the abuse of the string trimmer and mower. The gray hose follows the fence line and is the shortest run. The ball valves at the manifold regulate water pressure for even coverage among the 3 different sprinkler heads and 3 different lengths of hose. Here we illustrate the construction progression that included a metal roof, wood skirting, wide banister cap that just about sits at waist high. The grass took no time at all, filling in nicely, and now the trench that I had hand dug is all but disappeared under the new growth. Once the system was tested, our attention turned to the lean-to pavilion that included a 2-bin composting section and a small area to relax out of the sun and admire the garden. Here are the finishing touches to the lean-to pavilion. A 2-bin composting section lined with metal roofing to prevent wood rot, and a hangout area complete with captain chairs on the other side. Cattle panels added to the backside openings. They pivot, providing access to the compost bin so that we can easily dump grass clippings and leaves from outside the fenced perimeter of the garden. They also continue the barricade that keeps wildlife at bay when locked into place. We are extremely impressed with how easy this upgraded system is to use. When we first arrive at the farm, we fill the tank full of ethanol-free pure gas. One pull of the starter cord and the engine fires right up, and in a matter of seconds our garden is blanketed with nutrient-rich, chlorine-free pond water. And breaking down the system for winterization is also a breeze. The Camlock Quick Connect separates the pump from the PVC within seconds. Once the handle is reinstalled on the pump cage, I can easily wheel the unit into storage. The high and low threaded caps purge residual water left in the system easily through the cleanouts. Here's a close-up of the street cleanout Y and the quick disconnect cam lock at the pump outlet and the trench covered with mounded soil. To complete the end-of-season breakdown, zip ties are cut, garden hoses are coiled up, and sprinkler masts are placed into storage. We hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you find yourself in a similar situation, having access to a pond or some other water source, and you're wishing for a garden in the boondocks, this just might be the system design that gets your garden growing. Viewers, we've taken the guesswork out of assembling the system components by offering a comprehensive list of individual parts and where they may be purchased. A link is available within the description below. For just $1.99, it'll save you a ton of time and detail exactly what you'll need to buy. If you have enjoyed this video and appreciate the time we've invested to bring it to you, please hit the like button below. Also, consider subscribing to our channel and ring the bell icon to be notified of new content. Thank you.